vloggy. Let's have some breakfast.
Oh, it's so bright out here.
Oh, I was gonna grab sunglasses, but I have everything else. Welcome to our lanai. I made some Portuguese sausage and egg burritos. And we loved Portuguese sausage. I'm gonna grab my sunglasses.
You got mine too?
Yeah.
It's so nice out here. I mean, those ones always get shade, but they'll get sun in the afternoon. I think it's okay to get sun in the morning and shade in the afternoon. So I was looking at this way this lanai is set up.
Yeah.
We'll get sun in the morning, but then in the afternoon we'll get shade, which is probably better than having a long afternoon sun.
Oh, I also have a pole that is perfect so that I'm not blinded.
Alright, well.
You can have the pretty one, it's okay. Good morning, vloggy. We are on our way.
Hi.
All laid up to our timeshare presentation, which I realized, you know how Phil does that thing where he wants to take the bus everywhere? This is kind of that for me. Applying my job to something on vacation, because we never go to like a sales thing. It's not like we're gonna buy a car while we're on vacation. So that's how I am approaching this, is I want to see what their sales tactics are. I am going to tell them that I am a sales trainer. I had waffled on, like...
Don't do that.
Why?
Do I tell people I'm a transit expert?
You are?
I don't tell them that.
Well, when they ask what I do...
Oh,
I mean, I could say, oh, I work at a dealership and I wear a lot of hats.
No,
which is accurate.
No, I train salesmen not to be jerks. Which is what I just tell people what you do.
I know, but that's a very, very small portion of what I do.
I know, but
most of what I do is employee focused. But, so we're running about 5 minutes late, and I want to make sure that they don't take my $40.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Hawaii 11, Hawaii Belt Road.
Well, we will tap in after the presentation.
Or during, who knows?
I don't think they'll let us vlog during. But I've always wanted to do a timeshare presentation.
We're going to get a personal desk, or we're going to sit with someone who's going to go over each individual item, and they're going to say, this one has this one has this one has this package has this.
Well, supposedly they
have
like...
At the light, turn left onto Hawaii 11,
okay, I gotta pay attention to directions, bye.
Bye.
So, we just got out of our timeshare thing.
Where are we going?
I figured we would just do our recap in here.
Oh, we're not going anywhere?
Yeah. So we just got out of the Wyndham thing. Here, can you hold my hands tired?
Already?
Philip!
I accidentally zoomed. Look at my eyeball. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Okay. So we just got out of our timeshare presentation, and we bought nothing.
We bought
because
it.
It's expensive!
It's expensive, although we do spend a lot on...
We do spend a lot on travel, but I disagree with him saying that it's 100% interest rate. It's 100% paid at once.
Yeah.
So, the property was beautiful. He did a good presentation. I didn't say that I train salespeople. I said that I worked on the admin side, which I do some administrative stuff. He was very personable.
He did, saying he was an elected official in Wisconsin did not endear me.
Yeah.
I was like, first of all, that means you don't know the dynamic between staff.
I thought he was gay. I thought he was gay the whole time until he mentioned that he was engaged to another lady there. Yeah. Did you think he was gay?
This is his second beard.
Do you think I thought he was gay.
He could be just very flamboyant. I'm very comfortable with his
He was very comfortable. I liked him though. I mean, like, I see why people buy timeshares.
I mean, overall, if we had more liquid assets monthly,
it's not a bad deal. Like, I want to look more into timeshares because of this. Not like, I like the timeshares where you can use multiple locations. Like, yeah. That is appealing.
Yeah, like when he was like, oh, you can go to the Maldives, and I loved how he was like, oh, you get 50% off all your hotel books after this, or no, something was, oh, car rentals and stuff. You get really good discounts on everything. I was like, that's what we want, right? Yeah. That's where we spend most of our money. It's not the hotel, because Haley finds great hotel rates. It's the everything else.
Well, I think you could just buy into that app. He said it was $55 a year.
Yeah.
I also found it interesting that the Wyndham Group purchased the third-party travel things. I want to look into that more.
Yeah, they are. I'm surprised they've not been sued for the antitrust law stuff.
So the like beginning of the pitch is so emotional and like, you're gonna die someday. You need to travel. And then they go around the room and they ask how many years of vacationing you have left.
One person said 20, and I was like, "Aw."
And there was also this part where they're like, "Oh, how much on average do you spend for a hotel per night?" I would say we average more like $150, but I was feeling like self-conscious about that.
We were the first. He picked us first on everything.
Yeah.
And so we're like, now we're going to set the pace.
We set the tone, and our tone was, I wanted to fluff the number up a bit, and I was like, so we spend like $200 a night.
And we have spent $200. $200 New Zealand.
No, I mean, this one is close to $2. We just used credit card points to help. But then everyone else was like, 300, and then someone said 500, and like, we were wildly out of our tax bracket.
That $500 person is on the deck right now with a custom person.
Yeah, we were in the incredibly loud room where they do the paperwork. Like, that's such a wild choice to have people, well, it's to disorient you.
Yeah, I had a hard time focusing on.
It was so loud. They're blasting music.
I think it's, yeah, because they do the pressure, like, it's just, you want to.
I mean, I don't think he really pressured us.
I wasn't pressured. The lady downstairs felt more pressuring than he did.
Yeah, the lady downstairs, because they have a closer, which I expected. Why? You're just showing me. You're in there.
Am I not in there?
No.
I can't see because the lens is in the way.
Yeah, they have a closer that you sit down with to do a survey at the end, and we spoke about him very highly.
And they make you initial that you declined it. Like, that is, and he's like, this will be noted, so in the future you don't get your initial offer. I'm like, BS. BS.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going straight in a trash can. There's no way you're logging that. Or even if they do log it, if I come back later and say I want the rates I was offered, they would do it.
Yeah.
1,000%. These people are hungry.
Yeah, they're timeshare sellers. So, I had a blast. I don't know about you. I think Phil wanted to buy one.
Oh, I would have. I'm a fish. Until he said $300 a month, and I was like, $300 for the cheapest? You just had a sheet that said $150.
Yeah. Then when you add all the fees onto it. So, I mean, I'm interested in the process. I'm going to learn more about it. We absolutely did not purchase today, but we also went in knowing we're not going to purchase today. They throw a lot of statistics at you up front, and they're like, 40% of people don't buy today.
40% people buy.
Oh, yeah, 40%, which means 60% don't. Honestly, at the dealership, we're at a 50% on the first initial visit, but then it goes up with subsequent visits.
Really? You have 50% closing on person who walks through the door?
Yeah.
Jesus, that's good. They have to walk through the door. If they're just on the lot, you don't count those.
Well, like online and phone is much lower. That's like 20 to 30.
That's still way higher than I would have thought.
We're good salespeople. And they're not bad salespeople.
Overall, I thought his pitch was really good.
Yeah. We're still not showing you. I mean, we had time to kill. It's been 96 minutes since I started my timer, and we've been sitting in the car for a little bit. So really, it was that hour and a half.
If we would have chose to purchase, it would have been like
a lot longer.
2 more hours here.
I don't know how long the purchase process takes. Probably not that long.
We would have had to find a loan.
So once you come back from your little tour, they're like, so we start off by running credit, and I'm like, so we're not going to start off running credit.
Wait, he said that?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that part. See, I was really disoriented.
No, down when we came up on the golf cart, he was like, so we start off by running your credit to see what the interest rate would be.
And you're like, no, give me the...
And I was like, no, we're going to use fictitious numbers.
Oh, that was what it was. I thought he meant like, okay. I for some reason thought that conversation was they were going to ask how much we made.
No, he said we're going to run credit.
Oh, God, that's a hard hit, too.
Yeah, well, there's no such thing as a soft hit.
Not anymore.
So, I'd say if you are as confident not buying something as I am, have fun. I had a hoot. I mean, I don't think everyone would enjoy it as much as I did because I was analyzing the sales process the whole time. And like...
No, I was enjoying that you were like... She was nerding out on it, and that was fun.
It was a good time.
Like she was analyzing their sales tactics and like
I have a
their
whole
video.
list of notes.
They gave us a piece of paper, and I was like, you just gave my wife an excuse to take notes.
Oh yeah,
she's
I'm going to
to
talk about this in the sales meeting. I was like, so they go around the room with the dream vacation, and you have to say where you want. We said Yellowstone. They
have. Oh my God, we thought, they can't have a resort in Yellowstone.
They have one in West.
Of course they would.
So then it's all playing on emotions. They use a bunch of statistics, especially about death, heart attacks, heart disease.
His own personal death story.
Yeah, and so they go around the room saying, "What does travel give you?" And he wrote down the words, and then he used all of those words in his pitch. Like our word was time.
He loved that.
Yeah,
you gave him the perfect word.
I did.
That was the word he was looking for.
I know. I knew a couple of the answers to the questions, but I wanted someone else to answer.
Oh. I guess this is where you live every day.
Making others richer, inflation, really focused on you're going to outsmart inflation. And you're going to set yourself up, how to skirt inflation, how to save money. This is really a money-saving venture. Fascinating. Yeah.
Which is, I think, a good way to tack on.
It's a good way to sell it.
And, for it's raining right now.
Yeah.
For I think that's applicable for your dealership too, because you're like, if you get this, 360 protection plan, this will save you money.
I don't play with the finance world. Yeah, you wrote down confronting your own mortality, but it's due to money, not vacations.
Oh, no, so he did a statistic that was people who take more vacations are less likely to have heart attacks.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, people who take more vacations have better access to health care.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, it is a financial.
It's not
a false
vacation
equivalency.
based. It's a money base. So then Phil wrote, "You done messed up," after by bringing him here, and then he wrote.
No, that was because that was you done messed up because you said Yellowstone on everything, and then they showed the map. And Yellowstone was on it.
I didn't think Yellowstone would be an option, and then Phil wrote, "I'm such a fish."
Oh, I'm such a fish. They already had me wanting to buy one in the first 2 videos.
Yeah. And so people were talking about how much they spend on like their 2-week vacation in Europe, and they were like $25,000, $15,000. And Phil wrote, "I need a new job." So I wrote, "We're in the wrong demographic." And a lot of the promotional material had old people.
Yeah, it was always starting at old people. Like one of them was like, I think the first video was like, we bought a timeshare, and the son's like, "Oh, you got scammed," and they're like, "Oh, but did we? Look at what we're enjoying."
And like all of the vacation photos had young, beautiful people with kids. You can't see you.
Oh, sorry, it's slowly drifting because. Okay.
So I thought that was really interesting, the use of younger, more attractive people with families in the happy stuff. I just thought that was interesting.
And I think it's also, your mom would have been sold. She would have bought that for us.
I don't think so.
Your mom's a good.
For $300 or $400 a month, I don't think she would buy it.
No, I think she would have been sold. Not that she would have bought, but she would have been pressured by the tactic of, because they were like, you bring your kids with you, and because she loves
traveling with us.
She loves just the idea of giving them better resources
and having a condo. So like, I'm not gonna lie, I love the condo that we're in right now.
I love that we'll get to that part. Okay.
What part?
Okay, so we toured the condo, and I was like, cool, we're in one right now. Like, this isn't, like, if we were in a shitty little hotel room like the Rainbow Inn, that would have felt like amazing.
Honestly, the hotel room we had in Oahu, where it was just the standard hotel room with the 2 beds.
I love how he said, and when you're on the deck, you won't have to deal with cigarette smoke. Because you could tell, because we're wearing masks, like they were more health conscious.
He was very respectful of the masks. He didn't mention it or anything.
No. And so I that's a hard selling point, because we had that issue in Hawaii or in Oahu where we had the people with smoking weed, and we could smell it on our balcony.
And it wasn't just weed, it was cigarettes too. It was like everyone was smoking around us.
Yeah, and so like it was.
Overall, I had a hoot. I want to attend timeshare presentations in the future. And we might buy one eventually. Honestly,
I'm such a fish.
I know you're a fish.
Maybe once I get out of school, because that is an expenditure I won't have anymore. Because that is a lot I'm spending per year. Like what he was like, okay, you're spending this much per year on this kind of loan thing, and I was like, damn, I'm spending that for school.
Yeah.
I looked at the overall, what I've spent for school overall. It's like $28,000. I know. She blinks at me with her Ivy
I still
League.
fucking owe 28,000. Well, I don't actually. I'm like down to like, I think 12. But I also graduated 14 years ago.
Yeah, I also have. I mean, my. Yeah.
And I've been paying on it for 14 years.
But that's. Yeah.
So, overall, I had fun. I think that was a great way to start the trip because that was exciting for me. I don't know why I've always wanted to do a timeshare, but I have.
You know, my parents went to one. Well, they used to do them in Vegas. But I remember one where my mom and dad came back because there was one nearby. And they were trying to, it was just one of those one place ones because that was used to be really popular in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was the single location ones. And it was a place down in Mexico, in Baja, California.
Jenica used to have a timeshare. I don't think she still does.
And so the idea was, like, my parents came back talking about it, and they were talking about how pressured they were, and like they were going to be taking, like they asked if they wanted to go the next weekend to get away, to go to Mexico and visit it, and that they could stay for 2 nights for free. And I thought it'd be that, like as a kid, I distinctly remember my parents talking about how hard it was walking out of there. That the only reason they walked out of there without buying anything is because they did not have the money to buy anything.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
And do you feel that right now?
If we had the...
So that's a yes.
I told you I'm a fish. I am sold on this as a concept. Also, one of the big things, and I wrote it on there, was sustainability.
Yeah, that was the last thing that you had written down was environmental sustainability.
Yeah, like this is catering to people who don't give a crap about sustainability at all. I mean, there's no nod to you're traveling consciously. You're literally, we have this resort on this exotic location, and it's always going to be here for you. There's no talk about how that impacts, and they're trying to mitigate the impacts or anything. Because
he did mention that they could have built 5 more bungalows on this property, but they didn't because there's a bunch of Native Hawaiians who are buried here, and they leave it for them.
No. He failed to mention the act that was passed that doesn't let you remove remains. Remember the...
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? It's like a repatriation act. It's part of that where graves are like... Anyways.
Yeah.
I learned about it in my class I just took that I just... A week after class, don't remember anything.
So overall, I had a good time. I learned a lot. We may end up buying a timeshare in the future. I want to learn more about them. Like, if anything, this made me more curious about it. Absolutely not buying today.
Oh, one question that I didn't ask was, you are buying in the location that you do it at, right? So if you were to do, like, say the one in Coeur d'Alene and do their presentation up there, you would be buying property in Idaho. Or you'd be buying, you'd be buying...
you don't own the property.
You do. It's, I don't know, it's some...
I don't understand, like, tax-wise,
you're paying
if
Idaho
I was
tax.
actually going to purchase it, I would be more intrigued about that, but...
And that was the thing, I was like, okay, this is worldwide. I understand that Hawaii has an advantage because you can sell your time as a rental.
Yeah.
Which is really good for Hawaii because the rates are really high. I want to see or globally who gives the best one as a rate, right? Like that's when you would want to buy from. Like he got locked in for Wisconsin, like so he's paying all the Wisconsin stuff.
But like, he's trading in 2 of his deeds for a Hawaii deed, which is interesting. If I was actually going to rent, I would want to learn more about this deed trading thing.
Well, I would want to get at least a deed, or look at deeds in, because they have one in New Zealand. What if you bought a deed in New Zealand?
I didn't see one on the New Zealand map. They had one in Australia. I didn't see New Zealand.
Wanaka. On the South Island.
Why are you calling it Wanaka? It's Wanaka.
Wanaka.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's what I thought you pointed at. They have one in New Zealand.
No, I was pointing at the one in Coeur d'Alene because I don't know where that's at.
That's funny because I looked straight for New Zealand. I was like, oh, there's one in New Zealand on the South Island. I was like, man, that makes sense though, because that's by Queenstown.
Yeah. So overall, interesting experience. Learned a lot. I got a water and a Coke out of it. We have technically I haven't seen the email. I didn't really look.
They said they gave us a $50 gift certificate.
Pleasure spent. Yeah, $50. So we can redeem it at anywhere we want. Transaction receipt. Refund, $40 for our tour deposit. So we got our $40 back. And we have the gift of travel. So we have 365 days to use this.
Okay.
So I don't know where we'll go with it, but that's cool.
We might have a follow-up video, but
Yeah.
ooh, look
Free
at all
7-night resort stay.
because when you use the free resort one, they say, oh, you can get 3 more nights, but you have to attend
Another timeshare thing.
which is
Which I wouldn't be mad at. I had a good time.
yeah.
That was fun. I know
We could spend that in Coeur d'Alene, not have to spend anything for a stay in Coeur d'Alene.
I'm good. All right,
Or
so
West would not be bad.
do you want to go downtown Kona? Did you want to do farmers market? What do you want to do?
We'll discuss. We'll
Okay.
find out.
You'll come along.